is 5:33. We'll go ahead and get started.
So we were wondering if we could do the 4210. Jessica and Rebecca wanted to be a part of that.
Okay.
I'm fine to it. It doesn't have to go out of order. I'm fine either way.
Well,
Oh, no, I'm internet anymore.
Yeah.
right. So, 4210. Okay.
Oh, that I just sent that to.
Okay. All right. 4210. Community relations, community use of school facilities. School facilities are available to the community for education, civic, cultural, and other non-commercial uses consistent with the public interest, and when such use does not interfere with the school program or school-sponsored activities. Such facilities may also be used for the operation of a senior citizens center. Use of school facilities for school purposes has precedence over all other uses. Persons on school premises must abide by the district's conduct rules at all times. Students and school-related organizations shall be granted the use of school facilities at no cost. Other organizations granted the use of school facilities shall pay fees and costs. The superintendent shall develop a procedure to manage community use of school facilities, which shall be reviewed and approved by the board. Use of school facilities requires the superintendent's approval and is subject to the procedures to authorize the use of any school building or vacant land of the district as a community center or for any public purpose, and to establish a policy of charges, if any, to be made for such use. Okay. I'm just curious what we've got going on. You want to explain, Sarah?
What do you mean?
Well,
On the
you
notes.
highlighted and wrote notes, so I was just curious what
Oh,
you brought
that's-
to our attention.
That was from, I was just highlighting where it lines up with the law.
Oh.
33-601.
Okay.
Yeah, like I did before.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all of those.
Alright. Authorization for use of school facilities shall not be considered an endorsement of or approval of the activity, person, group, or organization, nor the purposes they represent. To begin the process for approval, you must submit your request online here. The administration shall review and may approve the various uses of the school facilities. A master calendar is available online for scheduling dates. Requests for use of the school facilities must be submitted in advance of the event to the superintendent's office. Do we do that?
At district office, it's just like the district office, you don't have to specify superintendent.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Proper protection, safety, and care of school property shall be primary considerations in the use of school facilities. All facility use shall comply with state and local fire, health, safety, and police regulations. All individuals using school facilities shall comply with district policies. Okay.
Yep.
Does any language here need to change?
No.
Okay. Moving on to, hello,
Hi, Shannon.
draft fee schedule for community use of school facilities, alright, so,
So we do need to have some changes here. There was a column that wasn't removed.
The
and this
tax
was
fee.
published. So this is technically the fee schedule that we are utilizing.
so Cat 1, Cat 2 have no charges.
Mhm.
Cat 3 is where the charges lie.
Yes.
Okay. 45, 50, 80, 55, 80, 45, 55, 80, 80, 55, 25. Additional per fee hour, 50, 30, 50, 25. Okay, so there's no changes here other than striking out category 2.
Correct.
Oopsies, look at me go. Alright.
And then we
Okay.
have a suggestion that might even condense this a little bit more, but we can
Okay.
clarify on the next one.
Other fees, garbage fee for large events, 4+ hours, 100+ at event, and or concession. A garbage fee of $75 will be charged. So they have to have the facilities for a minimum of 4 hours and have 100 persons at the event and or concessions.
It's and or, so it's either any of those three would,
4+ hours or 100 or concessions.
And let's state that, please.
and or.
Key deposit refunded upon return of keys. Key card is $15. Inside door key is $50. All tournaments will be charged at category 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what we're currently doing.
The reason why that's specified is we do have some groups that qualify under category 2, who then decide to host a tournament and then would like to do it for free, but there is a large cost to the district to have the buildings open for 2 days for them to run the tournament, which is why tournaments specifically are called out as a category 3 event.
And tournaments tend to generate money for the
Yes.
group as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess what we had in category 2, you're saying we've never charged category 2?
Correct. The way that it's written in the actual procedure in the procedure, category 2 is not charged.
Okay, so let's look at F2. This is just the waiver. Did you have
There's
any-
no changes there.
Okay, so you've gone through this?
Yes, it's just P that we're looking at.
Okay. All right, procedures. Priorities for use. Facilities are available for community use according to the priorities established by the Board of Trustees and outlined in this procedure. District functions and activities shall have priority over community requests for facilities, whether scheduled in advance or not. Community groups, entities, persons, or associations requesting the use of school facilities may be categorized as category 1, 2, or 3. Priority for use is in the order listed, with category 1 having the highest priority. Governmental entities with whom the district has entered into a written contract known as a memorandum of understanding.
So that's like Parks and Rec that we have.
Yes, I know, and we really, I don't know if we should,
I wouldn't disagree with your thoughts on that.
Yeah, we don't disagree.
Our thoughts on this is we could kind of create just a category 1 and do like a category 1A and have the governmental entities and then a category 2B and then list the rest, or category 1B and list the rest of them, so we just condense it to 2 categories. Because in theory, category 1 and category 2 are both using the facilities for free.
okay. Right, but we have to stop with Parks and Recs not having any, I mean,
We did write into the agreement with the city of Rathdrum that they are supposed to be paying a custodial fee, that we're supposed to be charging them for the facility use. They don't pay for the facility itself, but because they are in the building for an extensive period during most weekends.
are we charging them?
We haven't been.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's in there.
I'm glad it's in the agreement.
Yes.
I don't know
The
what good it does us
agreement
if we're not
signed
going to
Yes.
just
and
take charge of
everything.
them.
Okay, well, that's why that change hadn't been made yet, is
Yeah,
because.
the agreement wasn't
Was
signed
not
at
signed.
that point, so.
And the other people we have, the MOUs with, like the sheriff's department, they use it for training as well, so
And we
they
bill
fall
them
under
back for
the
any-
category one.
We do bill them back for any damages though, which we've consistently done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, okay, but here's part of the problem I see with our special categories. I mean, we don't have an MOU with Spirit Lake, we never have.
Mhm.
Right.
We don't have one with Athol, which Athol's, you know, they don't have a Park and Recs program, but they have teams that go under the umbrella of Spirit Lake. So I wish for, what's in category 2? School-related groups and organizations within the district that have organized for the purposes of promoting schools and conducting activities that directly benefit the students of the district. Okay, chartered youth groups with 75 to 100% Lakeland Joint School District students. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Campfire Girls, 4-H Youth Commission, youth sports groups, etc. A participant roster must be submitted for verification. In-district youth athletic teams with 75 to 100% Lakeland Joint School District students. A player roster must be submitted for verification. Okay. Now, cause see, technically, we're supposed to be charging Spirit Lake, cause they're category 3. We've never
Yes,
charged them.
but they do fall under that 75% rule
Yeah.
when they send in their student rosters.
Except
So if you calculate all of their
they're a public
kiddos.
agency though. I mean, they're a governmental agency, but
Right.
I mean, this is where I get real frustrated when it's like, well, we can plug them in wherever we want. I don't think that's appropriate. I really don't. I think we need to have better definitions of what we're trying to accomplish with our school use facilities procedures. Now, why, well, I do know why, but okay,
And
go ahead.
just to remind you,
For Park and Rec to use their facilities too.
we can't find postal fees, they took them off their website.
Yeah, that's what else removed them.
I have them email me,
Okay.
so they do, I didn't ask about the city, but they have their commercial, their other nonprofits, and then their local nonprofit rates is all I have.
We would have
just
to
know
ask
that Park and
specifically
Rec
about Park and Rec.
uses their
Mhm.
facilities for.
For you. But,
Just
the
a
city
little
of
bit
Spirit
above.
Lake is still pursuing an MOU with the district.
Mhm. No, I know that because, yeah, that, I know that and I know why, so, and I'm happy that we're doing that. Because when they were, well, okay. I think though that maybe, I think the problem with going to too few categories is I don't think we're doing our buildings a service.
And I'm
But-
fine either way.
I think having well, 'cause down here with the youth athletic teams, chartered youth groups, okay, in district youth athletic teams. What is an in-district youth
So
athletic
that's like
team?
our basketball teams and our
Lakeland Elite.
Lakeland,
I know
Lakeland
Impact.
Land Elite falls under the AAU.
Yeah, AAU one.
AAU.
Well, I know Impact would be one.
Hmm.
We charge them too, right?
Impact is charged,
For
so
tournaments.
she
So
needs,
then
so
what
what
is-
is
But not-
75%?
Not for practice.
What
So
is the
that-
for
definition,
practice.
like,
What is an
the
in-district youth athletic team?
That, to my understanding, was our school sports teams.
Cause Lakeland Elite, I mean, they carry the name, but they're not, my daughter plays on that basketball
Mhm.
team, they're not affiliated with the school.
Mhm.
They're an AAU team.
But they
And-
meet the 75% rule on their rosters.
Yeah, I think, I'm also just trying to understand what it means to be in district, because for example, we don't meet the 75 on my specific softball team, but we are a Rathdrum team, we
Mhm.
practice at Majestic. When we travel for
Right.
tournaments, it's Rathdrum, Idaho is who
Yeah.
we represent, we have kids in Lakeland and Spirit Lake, so.
Yeah, I don't know what that
I think
means.
we could easily take that out and just make it that 75% Lakeland Joint School District students, cause that's very easy for us to verify versus trying to determine whether or not something is a in-district
Yeah.
sports team. I think that would take the ambiguity out of it.
Good work on
Well, yeah, but then down here we have in-district community organization groups and, I mean, I'm just respectfully, someone put the word in there for a specific reason and I'd like to know what it was meant.
Yeah, that was before my time.
No, it wasn't.
This was copied from the last one, this language.
This language was?
Mhm.
Okay, but, 2 superintendents ago is the one that really hammered this with special language, so that's why you
Yeah,
were
and that
here
was,
with her.
yeah, but this was done before I was here with her.
Okay,
Yeah, so Brian was in charge of this
Okay.
before me, so it would have
Yeah,
been,
yeah, mm.
Becky and Brian before
Okay.
I came on and just started
Okay,
managing it.
that's right, you became, yeah, when Chrissy left, okay.
Mhm.
Alright, so if we say youth athletic teams, what do we mean? What are we trying to include there?
These are club teams, right?
I wouldn't even say in-district, cause really,
I
it
take
would
the
just
strike
say
you.
youth athletic
There we
teams
go.
with
Yep.
Again,
athletic.
what are we saying with youth athletic teams? What are we meaning?
That if it,
Non-district sponsored team?
it's a non-district sponsored team. That's a youth, so anybody from the area could come and practice here, but they would only qualify as a Cat 2 if they have 75% or more of their roster as in-district
That
students.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Easy.
think if you're not careful because of the separating out the AAU, like I would
Yeah.
have a hard time not arguing that Lakeland Elite, yes, it's an AAU team, but they're also an in-district, like it is designed to
Cause
be
they have the
Yeah.
for kids.
but
like
it
it's-
says youth
Mhm.
athletic teams less than 75% Lakeland Joint School.
Mhm.
And that just is an example of an AAU team,
Right.
but really
But
truly.
it eliminates that whole
Yeah.
question, like,
Question.
wait a
Are
minute,
you
I'm an
in-district
AAU
or not?
team, but I'm more than 75%, so which list do I, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess maybe if we took alright,
I could see category 1 and 2 combining, if they're gonna be charged the same. I don't know that there should be less categories. I actually think that every school that I've looked at has a nonprofit category.
Mhm.
This school does not.
It-
We are significantly higher than other schools. I
Right.
know, it was talked about comparing the rates. I have all the rates from all the local schools, like just north and south around us.
Right.
And we are significantly higher.
Okay.
I can tell you that's not always the case. For example, we had a group approach us that was going to be charged $1,500 at Coeur d'Alene School District, and it was gonna be $920 for us. So there is.
And I know athletically, we are way less,
Mhm.
because they're way stricter in other districts letting outside entities in.
Mhm.
It is hard to get gym time for a practice in Postville School District, if, you know, like, Park and Rec has that, some of those, if you're not tied to that and you're just an AU, and their answer is no. It is really hard to get gym space in other places.
But I think that's because they're so booked up, not because of the price of it. Because we want to be here,
Right.
but we go to Coeur d'Alene. Because Coeur d'Alene, we're paying $25 an hour for their gym. So we have one team at Skyway, one team at Apple, one team at, I don't even remember the name of it. But we have our entire club distributed through Coeur d'Alene, so they're making thousands of dollars off of us. Because here, we are at like $60 an hour or something for the elementary school gyms.
Elementary, I think it's 45.
Okay. Yeah, so we're.
It's 55
55?
for elementary gym. Classrooms are 45.
So, and it is hard to get into the gyms there. I mean, trust me,
Less than 60.
I had everything planned out and the basketball teams came and all my plans went away. Because they're completely, I mean, they're booked solid. We had Friday and Friday to choose from, that was it.
Yeah.
So all of our teams practice on Fridays, but with the availability, even if all schools were wide open, we would choose either Post Falls because we're nonprofit, so we would get the gym time there for free. Or, which is impossible because they are booked solid. Or we would go to Coeur d'Alene because they're $25 an hour and
That's for the nonprofit groups.
that is for the nonprofit group.
The hard thing is, I mean, anytime you open our facilities to outside people, we incur an expense that, quite frankly, the district doesn't have the deferred maintenance budget to handle. So that's why some of those charges are there. Those elementary gyms are carpeted.
Mhm.
We have to replace that. And when you have that many groups using them, including Parks and Rec, it wears and tears faster than just your normal average daily school use. And so that is part of the justification for some of the fees, is because we do have to supplement what we need in order to replace those materials.
Well, and respectfully, prior to Jessica taking over the CFO position, it was willy-nilly with fees. I mean, there was no collecting fees. It was, you know, if you were in favor with someone, then you didn't have to pay the fee.
Sure.
At least you didn't have to pay it to the school. You could pay it to the coach, and you know, money was walking around everywhere except where it needed to go.
Sure.
So I support the fact that we do have fees, but I also respect the fact that I do not want to charge our community members, our taxpayers, those that do support the district so much that they're gonna go to other cities. That's just ridiculous. I don't think that's a reasonable, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that you should be able to use the facilities that your taxpayer dollars are paying for, with a reasonable fee. I mean, I just don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So is there an idea of, like, if somebody goes in there for 2 hours, what the maintenance fee is going to be? I mean, just to kind of balance the cost of a program utilizing the gym and making sure that it's also being respectively paid for, but also the youth is still being able to.
Well, according to this, you would have to pay $55 an hour to use an elementary gym, plus $50 an hour for custodial.
But it's not hour for hour, so if you're
It's
like.
just a fee, right?
Yeah, so we base it.
It says additional fees per
Yeah.
hour, so
But I'll talk to the custodian and say, okay, after chaos comes in and practices for 2 hours, how long is it gonna take you to clean the gym and the restrooms? And they'll usually tell me it's gonna be less than an hour, so I charge them accordingly. So it's not hour for hour that
It's
somebody's
not
in
the
the
hour that they're
gym.
in the gym, it's the time it would take to clean up after.
After them,
Okay,
yeah,
then
so
we're-
that fee is a little
It
bit,
should say up to $50, or
we need to change the language, because as it reads, it's an additional fee per hour. So if I'm renting the gym for 2 hours, I'm going to be paying $100 in custodial, and then $110 to rent the gym. So that's $210 for 2 hours, because of how we
How
are
we are,
charging
yeah.
and
But
what
that's-
our words say.
yeah, unfortunately, that's not how it's being deployed.
Well, unfortunately, that's not a good thing.
Right, so, and we're trying our best, and this takes a lot of Rebecca's time to make sure that we're being very conscientious in the fees that are being charged. So that's why Rebecca does take the time to call custodial and say, what do you need 15 minutes? Do you need a half an hour? What would you need?
No, I think that's great, and I commend you for doing that, and thank you for doing that for our people that do use our facilities. What I don't like is
We need
that
to
our
change how
words
it's
don't
worded
back
on
what we
there.
do,
Mhm.
because then people are like, well, you know, if you say the right thing or you know the right person, then you get a better deal, and that's just not appropriate.
So how can we word it?
I don't know, we can get there though. We'll get there. But I guess what I'm trying to understand, so chartered youth groups, and our examples are Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Campfire Girls, 4-H, youth commissions, youth sports groups, or support groups. I have to read, that would help. Okay, so I get what we're saying there. City, county, and other public agencies with whom district has not entered into a memorandum of understanding. University, colleges, community education classes and activities, evening degree programs, etc. Okay, do we have any of that going on? Youth athletic teams with less than 75% of our students out of district park and recreational teams, club sports teams. Authorized adult recreational teams and clubs. Okay, what makes it authorized?
So not just, I wanna play a pickup game and I'm getting my friends together. And it's gonna be, it's actually, like Park and Rec has an adult
Yes,
women's
they do.
Okay.
volleyball.
Adult recreational clubs and teams. Authorized adult what's the difference?
So, previous school district, they had a group of guys that showed up at the school on Tuesdays and played basketball.
Okay.
It was just community, word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
not official sign up, no, like they just came and played street ball.
Okay.
Park and Rec here has organized adult men's basketball league or women's co-ed volleyball.
So maybe that's what that's
So I would
supposed to
think
mean.
this would be the authorized through Park and Rec, you know, same thing that Post Falls has oftentimes has adult teams that are Park and Rec teams, not just youth sports.
Right, no, I get
Versus
the, I
the,
get
like-
the adult recreational teams, I'm in adult recreational clubs and teams. So I get that,
Right.
but this authorized, I mean.
So I would think that Park and Rec makes it authorized versus just random.
Well, I don't know that anyone would want to come rent the gym for just a pickup game.
If they could get in there and they want
If
to
they
get
can
charged
do it
for
for
it, they
free,
would.
they do.
Absolutely, they would.
I get calls for that all the time.
Well,
Hey,
they're in category 3, they're not going in for free.
Right.
But we do get calls for it.
But if we didn't have that there, they would, you know, they wanna know where that's at and which group they fit into, and can we use your gym? Especially like, oh, we're not making any money off it, it's just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they bring their kids with them because, you know, it's my weekend with the kids or whatever it is, and they're running around, it's not as simple as they make it sound, for sure. It's super fun, but there's just a lot more to it than just, can we use your gym?
I don't know, I just think supporting documentation would be much better.
Cause they have to have insurance anyway, right, to rent
Right.
the facility?
Yes.
Right.
So you could almost just have it as adult recreational clubs and teams, because they still have to go through.
And they're not gonna be able to get the insurance.
Because if I'm doing a
Yeah, they
pickup game
won't.
with a bunch of friends and I can't send you insurance, you're not giving me a key.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
That, okay, thank you. I think sometimes we're. Alright, community organization groups and civic service organizations for activities that directly benefit the schools, district students, and or in-district, there we are with that stupid word, community. Community organizations, community organization groups and civic/service organizations for activities that directly benefit the schools, district students, and or, it should just be community. Shouldn't it?
Well,
We had our
I know
H-
that's like our HOAs.
Like, we had our
and our-
HOA meeting from Post Falls at the Senior Citizen Center in the restroom, because it's the only place we could find that was available, like, so if you're not, again, same thing, if you're not careful and consider it in district, are we gonna have Lakeland High School being the host for an HOA out of Hayden? Do we care? But they will ask if we have a,
But if they're paying for it.
If they're
and
paying
they-
for it.
What difference does it make? I
I
mean,
know, but I'm just telling you that would be your difference.
That is
I
the-
mean,
well, it's a category 3, so we're gonna charge the people no matter
Regardless,
what.
yeah.
But again, with this in-district community, what does that mean? Is it?
Within our boundaries, like, if you're an HOA, you have to be within our school zone, is what I would take that as. Or if
Mhm.
you're not an in-zone, like if it's,
But it's also like, you know, we're a Rathdrum team, but we're going to Coeur d'Alene, so what if there was a Coeur d'Alene team that couldn't find a gym and they wanted to come here, would we say no because they're not technically in district?
No.
Or since they're
If
paying?
If we
they're
have
not a
room,
community
if we have room for them, and we generally will host them.
Yeah,
But-
so it sounds like in district is not
But they're also
necessary.
not taxpayers of our district either, so giving them the
We
same.
have a lot
So I'm
of-
saying, are you wanting to restrict it to really
Right.
specifically in district, or do you
Yeah,
wanna?
but here's the thing, we have open borders, we have kids in this district that
Right.
don't live in this
Yeah.
district, and their tax dollars don't support our school district
Mhm.
because they don't live here. But they can still have the benefit
Right.
of our
but I
district.
feel like this is not talking about the kids in our district, this is outside the groups, when we look at those, your Rotary Club,
No, I
Lions Club,
understand.
your co- you know.
I get that, but okay, so if the Post Falls Lions Club needed to rent out a school and we're in tight with the Rathdrum Lions Club and we support that organization's mission, whatever,
Mhm.
are we gonna deny Post
No,
Falls?
we wouldn't.
Okay,
Would they
but
be
we
smart
would
enough to-
have to, because it says here, they're not in district. That's what I'm saying, I think sometimes we get so bound up in who we're gonna keep
Yeah, and
out that we don't think
And
about.
I think when we had category 4,
Okay.
that those other, the out-of-district ones
Uh-huh.
fell under category
Mm,
4.
and they tried to
So I
combine
think
them.
when we
Right.
combined
Just
that
the
some of that
single language.
language
Yeah.
got overlooked, I think is what happened.
Mhm.
So considering we've already combined it, that would have to go bye-bye. Unless we're adding
Another category that
another
says-
category in.
Those of you who do not pay taxes in the
Right.
area.
Then you're
pay
being
your
charged
fee.
at this fee,
Yeah.
right. And I think that was the purpose behind it.
Mhm.
Except, people can create the argument, but I am in district because my kid goes here, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter that I don't live here.
Wouldn't they fall under it if they fall with the 75%?
Well, but this doesn't have a percentage. Would
It
it take the
doesn't.
Lion Club's
Yeah.
roster to say where you live?
Right.
Who, how,
Yeah.
where your members?
Right,
Yep.
Oh
alright.
my gosh, I wouldn't know on the train. I mean, verifying students easy, we can look them up.
Oh, I know, that's what I'm saying, we're not asking for the HOA to say, okay, how many of the houses are in our.
Are in our-
Like, I can't even wrap my head around it.
Just like, shut up.
No, don't even go there.
Neighborhood
It's a rabbit
groups,
hole, I don't wanna go down
citizen
that.
concern groups, political caucuses,
What is
polling
this?
places.
What is a citizen concern group?
What? Oh, a citizen concern group?
Yeah.
Neighborhood watch,
Oh.
Oh.
you know, people that,
Okay.
I'm a cop because it says so on my
There
car.
was one that was like a aquifer group, that's a citizen
Yeah,
concern.
that would be,
Mm.
That's
Okay.
the Save Our Lakes group.
Oh, yeah,
Those,
they fell
those
under
are
that.
citizen concerns.
Save
Okay.
Twin Lakes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Polling places.
We can't deny that one.
Well, are
Unless
we
we say.
charging them for using our districts, our
No,
buildings?
cause they fall under.
I mean,
Government
we're forced
entity,
into
are they a
it.
category
We're
one?
forced into.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
forced into it, so
And
we can't charge
you for
them.
it.
So it should technically be under two.
Category.
I would say, well, category
Well-
one, cause they're a governmental
Mhm.
agency.
We don't have an MOU.
But the thing is we don't have any control,
No.
so why are they even on here, I
Yeah.
guess?
Yeah.
Rotary,
We'd like to.
Yeah.
We used to host Rotary, no more, we don't.
Rotary, Lions, Kiwanis, community development groups, and community fundraisers, etc. In all fairness, if it was an in-district community fundraiser, it would probably fall up here under PTA,
Under-
PTO,
yes.
PTU, PTG.
Yes.
What's a G?
I don't know.
Parent-teacher group.
Oh.
Okay, so we have Parent-Teacher Association.
Do we have one of those?
Parent-Teacher
Organization.
Organization, Parent-Teacher,
Oh, it's the youth handbook. I forget.
Mm.
Really? That's
Is it
long.
United?
Yeah, you look at
Parent-Teacher
HPT.
United.
Yeah, let me look.
Not enough of just the two, huh?
okay. Other nonprofit
It's a
group.
parent-teacher unit or union.
Oh.
Okay. Other nonprofit groups, organizations, non-district fee-based events for sports, recitals, lectures, sports and musical entertainment, etc. Profit-making activities, financial seminars, sales organization meetings, club sporting events or tournaments, adult tournaments or events, and all other groups not listed. Okay. What I'm curious about though is with what you found fee-wise, who all offers a nonprofit bracket? Because in respect, nonprofit just isn't you. It would be a whole bunch of different
Mhm.
types of organizations should they wanna rent the facilities.
Right. So Coeur d'Alene,
Okay,
Lake Ponderay,
okay,
Post Falls.
okay.
I don't, Kellogg, they actually don't charge at all
Okay,
for nonprofits.
okay,
And then I didn't see St. Mary's having, they just made a statement that if they were a nonprofit, they would need to talk to
Superintendent.
the superintendent, but their gym rental is $10 an hour, they just require you to rent it for 2 hours.
okay,
So, a $20 minimum.
okay.
And I just stuck with the actual neighboring counties.
No, that's fine.
So, other than St. Mary's, we are the only one.
Okay, so
But I-
we're the only district that doesn't offer a nonprofit category?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Coeur d'Alene is specific to youth nonprofit.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
not just all nonprofits, it's specific to youth nonprofits. That's a very
Okay.
important.
And we have
distinction.
those
Well, and they
in
might,
there,
all of
yeah,
them
just-
might be, actually, I didn't specifically look for the word youth, I just looked for it, cause there was,
There is a lot of nonprofits.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have a
so-
lot of
And
nonprofits.
even
Yeah,
youth
that's why I-
nonprofits, like,
that's why I
we've named a
s-
bunch of them, cause 4-H, all those
Well,
are
that's what I was
nonprofits,
looking
and
at,
they're-
that where they were chartered, it's like, well, I think that's
Like,
nonprofits.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
of them, not
Most
all of
of
them.
And like the
Yeah.
Good News Club and those are
Mhm.
nonprofits and,
mhm.
you know, but they meet the 75% rule too, so.
Right. There's so many of those that are
Mhm.
gonna be a double dip in how we just have more specifics in there,
Correct.
where they've been more generic, which is nonprofit, that's,
Mhm.
I think we have more categories within our categories than most districts.
Okay, so if we don't charge category 1 and category 2, we should just have category 1. Oops.
So that would require us to update the fee schedule as well.
Oopsies. That would require what?
Us to update the fee schedule to remove the.
Category 3 would now become category 2.
Yeah.
Right.
This one.
So the other thing is, and I don't know, Rebecca, this might be a total headache, so if it is, I understand, but there's no discretion for things. Like, if us as a nonprofit, when we leave a gym, we are super strict with our kids. Like, we make sure that, first of all, we're not wearing the cleats, we're not wearing turf shoes, we're not doing that, but we're also picking up after ourselves. Coaches are scanning as soon as we leave. When we use St. Mary's, we sweep the entire gym. Other groups, on the other hand, maybe not be like that. They might make a bigger mess and have the custodian do it, but it would be nice to be able to report back to a superintendent or something if the rate was still going to be high, to see if, okay, we've built rapport, we've done a good job, the janitor is saying everything is great when they leave. I mean, last time we used Garwood, we told all of our kids, hey, use the restroom before you come here. Obviously, if you have to go during practice, you can, but we really tried to limit those things. And at that time, my daughter was a student at Garwood, now she's at the middle school. But we really strive to help with that also, because we do take pride in the schools here. So discretion for a superintendent, I think it was St. Mary's or one of these schools, that would be something nice to have also, just because there will be the messy one, but then there might be a clean one, and it could help find a balance somewhere.
That one gets tricky.
Okay.
Because then we're relying on either the custodial staff that's there that night to pass that information back to us. Like,
Sure.
we almost get into a telephone game. There is consideration for in-kind. We do use that, in-kind forms. There is a provision currently in here under fees that say fees may be waived by the superintendent in consideration for services rendered by public institutions, not-profit organizations in direct support of public schools, students, or staff. But that, I take it to be more of a
Like, we buy a wrestling mat.
something
And
like
your
that.
Right,
school
Yeah.
or
use the
when they're
wrestling mat.
redoing the grounds up there at the baseball field and they bring in dirt and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And so they can give us a receipt saying we brought in $1,300 of dirt from site one to help this field, and so that's kind of that in-kind form.
Sure.
So we do have that process.
Okay. There's nothing we can help there. You don't have softball.
It's one of those things with as many buildings as we have, and then it's only as good as the person. And then it opens it up too for, well, if you tell them I did this, I can do that for you. I mean, it just creates an area where the internal controls can be not as effective, and that's a concern.
So do you feel like a nonprofit category is achievable, or a rate reduction is achievable? Or do you think these rates, because what it sounds like now is that the schools are fully booked with free, because people that are using the gyms are free. So
It's very rare that we have charges.
It's extremely rare, unless it's a tournament. We really hardly ever have charges.
So I guess my question, and I don't mean this in a rude way, just being very transparent, would it be more beneficial to the school district for an outside club like my club to be paying you $3,000, or to pay you $0 and go to a neighboring school district? Because we have 8 out of our 12 players that are Lakeland, and that does not qualify us. But that's over half of our team.
8 out of 12.
66%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and
Well-
you know, statistics are just a play on the numbers. If you have a 4-person group, you need 3 of them.
Right.
So it just depends, but, I, just being in Lakeland, and we have a teacher who's one of our coaches here, I mean, we're really focused within the school district and on Lakeland, so it would be really nice if we could do something to keep our players here and to keep our money here.
Right.
But we simply, I mean, we set our budget every year, and we literally nickel and dime everything, and we're like, this is how much it's gonna cost, we're gonna have 12 players, we divide it by 12, and that's how much money it is. So everything's coming out of, specifically for my team, 8 of the players on there, it's coming out of the people who live here,
Right.
their money. And if we go higher, then we have to charge more, so of course, as we're trying to keep our fees lower, we're looking for the lowest fees possible to
Right.
get done what we can
Yeah.
do. So I completely understand, like, all of the janitorial and stuff like that, I don't know the ins and outs, cause I don't work in it like you
Mhm.
guys do. But I feel like there could be a more affordable rate that could also be achievable and still get the maintenance done needed, and also allow for some of the local or even non-locals who need to rent the gym to be able to do that. Cause right now it's just really priced out. I mean, I know there's a wrestling team that is really local here, but there's in the same boat where they don't quite meet that 75,
Mhm.
and they go to Post Falls,
Yep.
cause they get it free, cause they're nonprofit. So, it's a tricky one for sure. I'm just really hoping that we can get something moved.
When we discussed this at the board meeting, we had talked about potentially lowering from 75% to like 65%, somewhere in there.
2/3
Something,
-ish or whatever. Yeah.
something in there. To make it, like in your case, that would,
Still the majority, and it's still more than half.
it's more than half, but it's
50%.
not, I mean, that would alleviate having to make a whole nother category, which we could totally do, but.
Well, I don't know why, it was chosen that it be 75%.
I was not privy to that decision. That happened before me.
Again, don't know a lot of things about, why some of the things are, but where I really struggle is when we start saying things like, well, you know, it just depends and blah, because the way Rebecca may interpret something is not the way Jessica's gonna interpret something, is
Oh,
not
we
the
have
way
conversations
Shannon's
all
gonna
the time.
interpret it.
Well,
And
there's
so
so many
it's,
questions I could ask, like when you're looking at, as a leader, I don't know, impact, are you looking at total roster?
Right.
Or do you look at each individual team?
It's
Because it,
depending on how they're scheduling it.
Yep.
So this is where we,
right, but if
We're
you're
having-
not careful with that, like you can find your loopholes.
The loopholes.
Oh, and
Like,
then
oh, we're gonna
definitely
make
is.
sure our total roster is at least 75% Lakeland, but this particular team only has 2 Lakeland kids on it because of how we then
right.
sort
So
of.
ideally
Yeah.
it would,
And it's semantics.
yeah,
It is.
ideally it would be done based on the roster of the team. Like there's another organization
But
that
that's
uses the
so much
field.
more for you to
But
track.
they've
Mhm.
figured out that if they book it all under the one coach who has the roster, that's
Mhm.
75%.
And I can't police that. I
No.
mean,
Yeah.
there's
We
no
don't
way.
know that a different team is practicing at that time, that that team that has
Yeah, there's no
75%
way.
scheduled, like.
Yeah, and I asked, I mean, I wasn't gonna lie, but I asked her, I
Mhm.
said, can I take all of the Lakeland students in my club and throw them on one roster?
Mhm.
And she told me no, which I understood, I figured that was the
Okay,
answer,
but-
but I was trying.
You know,
But you asked the question.
I
you
did, I asked
had
it.
you not asked the question and just done it, she wouldn't have
I
known.
wouldn't have
Yes.
known.
Right.
But she was honest and
That was
Unless-
good.
everything.
Ethical,
unless
yes.
you're-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless we get down the rabbit hole of you need to provide your AAU like
Card.
roster.
Yeah.
Like there's a USA softball roster. If they're not
Yeah.
on a single team, I mean we could go down that road and get super nitty gritty.
Yeah.
It makes it more challenging for everybody.
Well,
Oh,
this,
totally. I
I don't know if
totally
it's
understand.
still the same, but the city used to require, in order for you to go under their AAU umbrella, there had to be like everything I's dotted, T's crossed.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's still the same, I don't even know if they support AAU anymore, cause that was, you know, quite a while ago.
Right.
But, I don't wanna make rules so that people are looking for all the loopholes to manipulate.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't want it to be subject to interpretation, because, you know, if someone's having a good day today, then someone gets favor, but if they're having a bad day tomorrow, nobody gets anything.
I would
Yeah,
love it
you
to
know.
not be.
Oh, there's so many like
I don't want the good old,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, I don't want the good old boys
Oh,
club.
I know that, but
it
That's-
still
That's what we're
exists.
trying to.
I know,
eliminate.
it still exists though.
Cause
And-
even some of the language, like I think in the category 3 it said something, it says that directly benefits the school.
Yeah.
I mean, I could argue that we are a club softball organization and in my opinion, we have two of the best pitchers at 12U that are gonna be playing for Lakeland.
Mhm.
Right, so you're definitely
that's a great
benefiting the
benefit to
school.
Lakeland High School
Right.
sports, is
Right.
us training these girls up.
Right.
To then become playing for Spirit or Timberlake High and some playing for Lakeland.
And I think that's a spot that we could clarify and say via in-kind donation or something like that, because in my mind, that's how it's interpreted. It's a
Mhm.
benefit to the school because you're
But-
providing dirt.
Yeah, I'm
for
just
the
saying when
kids,
people
yeah.
are looking for a loophole,
Absolutely.
like you
Yes.
could take in, you could pick those words
Oh,
and
yes,
come
But
up
see,
with it.
being on the opposite side of the fence, okay, they're year 12.
Yeah.
What if you get a new job and move? You're not benefiting my district
Sure.
anymore. I mean, there's all sorts of arguments to sway
Mhm,
someone one
yeah.
way or the other.
Yeah.
So it's, I get you, cause I do agree with that, and there is, you know, a board member that is very passionate about sports.
You don't say.
Wait, we have
Which,
one of those that likes sports? Which one?
So,
I do too.
truth be told, there's a few of us, but, because it is vital to just youth development,
Mhm.
Yeah.
regardless
I
of
can
what
tell
school
you,
they go to.
if we're good about what we do with those programs, it may bring kids that are,
Oh,
your four
absolutely.
kids that are
Yeah.
not Lakeland kids may end up here eventually.
Oh, they do,
Because they-
open enrollment. I didn't think of
Because they want to play
Right,
with that team that
right.
they've been with.
They wanna stay with their
Our culture
friends.
is what they wanna be a
Mhm.
part of. Like,
Yeah.
we've had our club sports attract kids here because
Yep.
Mhm.
they're the one or two outliers that aren't Lakeland kids.
I think of
Yep.
at least 4 that are playing softball that are open enrollment.
Mhm.
that-
We've had families
Yeah.
move, like they are
Yeah.
young enough that we've had families will move.
Yep,
We moved to Lakeland
We did
for
it,
that.
like
yeah.
Yeah.
I live in Post Falls because my daughter played AAU with Post Falls kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we
We
chose
moved to
Firehouse because of,
Lakeland.
yeah.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
we were in Post Falls.
Mhm.
Often.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nope, we needed to make, we made our decision based on that.
Yeah.
So should we lower that number then? And
I think that might be a little bit cleaner than trying to, if you go a 7 out of 12 would be 58%, so if we did a 60%, I mean, I feel like that would be somewhat fair.
Right, like depending on what you want 2/3 of your team, I think more than 50%.
Well, and that's the hard thing, if it's a 4-person team, which I can't think of a lot of 4-person teams that are gonna come around the space, but like,
Right.
they would have to be 3 out of 4, like, it's just as if it's what it is. But as you start getting up in the numbers, I'm thinking wrestling,
Right.
I'm thinking
But even if you
softball,
went with-
you're usually carrying a 12 to 14 person roster for
Mhm.
softball.
Mhm.
14's a lot for softball, but you're
Mhm.
carrying those kind of numbers.
Right.
So it doesn't make it as hard to achieve, it's more than half, right? It's at least one more than half, so.
4-person team if you're at 60% or you're at 75%, they sort out.
They
That's
sort-
three.
yeah, they
That,
sort out.
that number's not a good one because you
Yeah.
go from 50 to 75,
But
there's
I
no
think
in
it's
between,
12-person roster.
Yeah.
If you're at 7, you're more than 50%.
So that's great for free. I mean, that's fabulous for personally me, because my kids would actually get free. But it still doesn't help compete with other schools when they're at 25 for nonprofit.
Well, this would be no fee.
If you qualify
Right.
under those. But again, for nonprofits, you're still going to be going to the cheapest
And
place.
at this point, I can tell you honestly, we're not scheduling nonprofits. Cause there's not the space for it.
yeah,
Okay.
So,
They would make it anyway because other groups that are higher on this list are gonna get the space first.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I was actually gonna ask, would they be bumped? Okay.
yeah, so now you, in theory, by this definition, would be able to bump one of those other category now 2 teams.
Okay.
So then I think in category 2, we need to go down and adjust it to be less than 50%.
yes.
If we wanna do more than 50%, we can scroll in.
What?
In category 2, there's one that says less
With
than
less than
75, we need to
75,
change
change
to
that
less
to
than
50.
Up a little bit, I think it's the 3rd bullet point.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So by changing to 2 categories, does that change the prioritization and put 2
And
people
that's-
all in the same category?
That's where I
You
was
know,
kinda
push
wanting
on
to
2?
do like a category 1A and a category 1B, because technically governmental entities should, based on the MOU,
Get priority.
get priority, so they would be category 1A, and they would receive highest priority, and then category 1B, which is all the rest of these groups, would be next. You could even, if you really wanted to get nitty gritty on it, in category 2, which it used to be category 3.
So we need to cross out that or 3.
Yeah, yeah. We could even get into a category 2 structure where we say public and civic entities, nonprofit and community organizations, and commercial and for-profit users. We could even break that up and
Into
then
A's and B's.
to A, B, and C, and then you get priority based on A, B, or C at that point. So it helps us prioritize.
Because I just look at that.
Because there's quite a few groups in category
2.
previous 3.
Yes,
So
that's what I was thinking, that list
so
is long and that makes it hard. Now it's just a matter of.
it's first come, first
timing.
serve, and that's category 3. So if we even took it to, like, we can.
Category 2A and category 2B and,
Mhm,
yeah.
exactly.
Because we do have so many categories
Yes.
to make sure that we know which ones are the priority.
And I mean, it's up to us to determine, do we wanna put public and civic entities first, and then nonprofit and community organizations, and then commercial and for-profit? That makes the most sense to me, but that's obviously a policy group decision. But I'm just thinking that if we're going to differentiate and provide priority, I think it needs to be broken out within the categories as well, just so that there's not, well, why did they get it over me? It kinda helps alleviate that headache.
Yeah, that's
It
what
is
I
a
was
headache.
like, the
Yeah.
more we can help define it before they ever come to you, and then
Mhm.
you're just reiterating, yes, you're in this category, therefore. Not,
Mhm.
sorry, somebody else got here first, you should be faster next year. You know, or to sit in line waiting for the portal to open.
I've actually had to meet with groups
Yeah,
and
all at
sit
the
down
same
and
time, yeah.
figure out the schedules, like what's gonna be fair for you and you and you, 'cause
Well, and we, even further down the line, cause we talk about timeline for applications and stuff
Right.
like that, we specifically state in their priority for facilities is by group classifications and as
Right.
listed in section A. So by breaking those categories down just a little bit, it helps us then.
And that's what I thought, when we
with that
condensed it, I'm like,
prioritization.
ooh, that
Yeah.
just made that part harder.
mhm.
So, yeah, I'm more comfortable with being able to kind of break those categories into,
Subgroups.
mhm. If this wasn't a Microsoft product, I would be able to fix it for you, but
If it were a Microsoft product, we would have been done by now.
I know, exactly. I can't handle Google. Makes me crazy.
This program, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. If you have just non-fee categories and fee categories, with potentially a caveat statement here that states, well, there may not be, a fee for utilizing the building or the field or the court, there will be, that all parties are subject to garbage, key, custodial, etc. That everyone
Yeah.
is subject to that.
Mhm.
Because then I think, to me, that's a lot cleaner, and this is just stupid. I hate Google. So this should be 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Because up here, if we simply state that, and this may need cleaner language too, community groups, entities, persons, or associations requesting the use of school facilities are categorized with priority for use listed below. So we know the first one listed is government entities. The second one is school-related groups. The
Mhm.
third one is chartered youth groups. The fourth one is youth athletic teams. And then the fee categories stop. Look at this. It's about getting out one. No, it's doing that stupid stuff. Same with priorities here. And then that way, to me, it's a lot cleaner.
Mhm. Are we comfortable with the way that this was laid out? Like, that's how we would categorize them?
Sometimes we can move 1
I
to
don't
3
know.
and 3 to 2 or whatever, yeah.
I think there's the work that needs to be done on it, may take just a moment, but it's worth doing.
I think I'm comfortable with how it's kind of laid out, cause you're putting your public entities and civic organizations first.
Right.
And your community, nonprofit, things like that, and then finally those profit groups, so your commercial and all that, it's already kinda in that order. Cause once you get down to 7, 8, 9, those are usually people that are, they're fee-based or they're making money.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I think it's already inherently built in just the way that we have it listed there.
Okay, which I think that, cause when we did the categories, they were listed in order of priorities,
Mhm.
so.
Yep.
But the reality is, instead of just having 2 columns,
Yeah.
we have, these people don't have any fees, but these people do have fees. However, all categories, and maybe it should be up here that it states that,
All outside groups.
All
Subject to, yeah.
Or all, regardless of categorization, all groups pay, whatever, I don't know.
Use of any district facility by groups out there.
okay.
A building use fee is charged. All groups
Nice.
will be responsible for custodial and maintenance.
We're
It's
subject
custodial
to-
garbage, yeah.
Yeah, whichever it is, the garbage is.
Category. All.
Outside groups.
No. Groups. services.
Is it just custodial and garbage?
Well, but garbage is for events.
Yeah, so that's for like a
Right,
tournament.
so the only thing that is going to be.
Yeah, we don't charge garbage if it's just Parks and Rec in there playing, or just if Chaos was
practice.
in there for practice.
Yeah.
But we do charge custodial?
Custodial, if, yeah, cause they have to come clean up
Oh,
the
yeah.
bathrooms
No,
and
I
stuff,
get it.
yeah.
Are we charging for open outdoor lighting?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to word this, because it's the additional fees, that basically everyone will be held accountable for, be responsible for.
Mhm.
The necessary services,
But what?
so it would be the necessary services used during that time? Or services, or what else do we consider utilities or?
Yeah. Okay, utilize services.
Security.
Yeah, and I've never been asked for outdoor lighting in a use request, so.
It's the only time I can think about it. I mean, I don't even have lights on that, like on
So,
football field.
they'll be charged for
It would just be
custodial
the football
services,
field.
building, and
Oh, we don't
field
really-
security.
Nobody's ever asked to have a night
Yeah.
football game.
What do you guys charge for lights?
It's 20.
25 an hour.
Oh, that's good. When we do Ramsey for our tournament, we get charged an arm and a leg for our nighttime games.
Yeah, it's.
It's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
It'd be interesting to know, like, because of the low, we could probably track it, what the difference is now that they put the blue lighting in.
We're tracked.
Like, because blue, like, that's the only time those lights are on, you could look at that.
With the majority of the buildings going over to LED, I anticipate to see a reduction in the electric this year. We'll see the full realization of that next school year after a full year of it, because we were still doing so many conversions, so.
Yeah,
that was
because
it.
we changed not just the football lighting, you're not gonna know exactly what that is, but it'd be interesting to know,
It,
like.
it's supposed to be quite a bit, so I'm
That's what they're saying.
very excited about that. Anywhere we can say that. We're actually coming to that chaos tournament. My daughter's in that.
Oh, okay. Who does she play for?
16.
Oh, in Spokane. Okay, yeah.
She played out at 4 weeks, but it was good as well, actually.
Yeah, we're excited for it. There's not enough local ones, and I'm like, quarterly in the summertime, everybody wants to come here.
Oh, for sure.
So we're gonna do.
Alright, so if we list it up front, then no one's going to say you never told me.
Mhm.
So let's read that paragraph, see if it is appropriately titled and makes sense. Facilities are available for community use according to the priorities established by the Board of Trustees and outlined in this procedure. District functions and activities shall have priority over community requests for facilities, whether scheduled in advance or not. Community groups, entities, persons, or associations requesting the use of school facilities are categorized with priority for use listed below. That sounds weird.
Mhm.
With a priority for use listed below. Regardless of category, all groups and organizations will be charged for custodial services along with building and field security. Additionally, I think we need more language there. Additionally, all groups and organizations holding tournaments will be charged. We don't need to also talk about that.
So I think when you were first saying it out loud, you said subject to, and I
Okay.
think that would be better because they might not, like if there's nothing to be charged, then they might not actually incur a fee and they might wanna call and ask, well, what am I gonna be charged
Right.
for this practice, and then
Yeah.
she's gonna have to spit out an answer.
Yeah.
So regardless of category, all groups and organizations will be subject to custodial services along with building and field security,
I like that better.
as needed.
As,
Yeah.
Okay. But then it seems like you might need it here, but you won't need it there, and that seems like it can
Yeah.
become ambiguous, yeah, that word.
I almost think you could leave it, cause it's subject to,
Okay.
and you can be vague
Will
a
be
little bit
subject to
with it,
custodial
because you don't know what
services.
you're gonna run into.
Along with building, let's do and or.
So are they providing building and field security?
So there's a piece in here later on that talks about.
On the fee sheet,
Right, but I just,
No,
does it
there's
seem
there's
like it?
piece on here that talks about, district employee. So at least one district employee must be on hand paid for by the organization when, in opinion of the superintendent or designee, it is necessary to supervise the individual and protect school property. So that's
we-
where that fee
yes,
comes in.
so we
if it's
decide-
something that we're like, oh man, we really,
right,
gonna have.
no, I get that, I just,
So that's,
do you think, what are you hearing when it's being read? Or what are you seeing when you read it?
I just wonder who, you know, along with providing or along with building and or security being provided. I don't.
And
Does
it's
that
not
help
even
that?
necessarily security, it's just, what's the word I'm looking for, supervision?
Right.
Because it's not, when I
Right.
hear security, I think of security guard.
Right.
It's
Right,
not,
that's-
it's
that was
literally
what I-
like
less-
supervision.
Mhm.
District, it would be along
That's
with
what I
the
think we
district
put
building
in
or.
district.
Cause it would be a
supervision.
district employee that's doing it.
Okay, let's just do it this way.
and sometimes that's just a custodian in the building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're there to open buildings,
Mm-hmm.
make sure they don't need anything.
Right, open and close, yeah.
But then I'm thinking of some of these huge tournaments, like we get there and sometimes have a district employee built in, cause they're the ones running it.
Alright, so regardless of category, all groups and organizations may be subject to custodial services fees, should be plural. Just 'cause. Along with opening and closing building fees and or field lighting. That's what our categories are
Yep.
called.
That works for me.
Okay, does that clean it up?
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Okay.
Do we need a comma after building fees?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see, how about, just do. So that they, I mean, okay,
Yeah.
so regardless of category, all groups and organizations may be subject to custodial service fees and or opening and closing building fees and or field lighting fees. Thank you. Additionally, all groups and organizations holding tournaments, there we go.
Will be charged.
Tournaments will be charged.
Yep, that works for me.
Okay, so that's all in the first paragraph
I
and
like that.
people
At
should
the beginning.
understand.
Mhm.
Correct, here's
That-
what
Here's
you're.
before they even see the categories.
Yep.
Right, I mean, that there's gonna be, you're gonna be charged something, it just
Mhm.
may not be that you have to
Some
take a loan out to come use it.
Yeah.
Alright, so, general guidelines.
I have some random revisions just to make it a little bit more legally clear, from a liability standpoint, so I apologize, they're a little bit long.
Okay.
But on the 5th bullet point down, which these are not in bullet points, that's weird, they used to be in bullet points.
Yeah, oh, I think it's because.
Oh, 'cause when she
I-
changed
Okay.
the top one, it changed
Winged
all of them.
everything else. So these ones, we could potentially go back to bullet points. Oh, looky there, they're O's. How kind.
Alright, so, the one that starts with all applicants.
Okay, how about I read them?
Okay.
And then you tell me to stop when we need to make changes.
Okay.
Approval for the use of facilities must be obtained from the district office. No facility use agreement may extend beyond the current fiscal year.
Mhm.
The fiscal year is the first day of July and ends the last day.
So probably begins.
Yeah, thank you. oops, where are we at? Begins the first day of July and ends the last day of June. Any person or group other than official school activities or governmental entities with whom the district has a memorandum of understanding must complete a facility use agreement before any of the district's before using any of the district's facilities. Forms are available on the district website. There are no exceptions to the written application process.
That means they can't call Rebecca and have Rebecca put it in.
Yep, I always direct them
Keyboard.
how to go back and do it, here's the instructions.
Sending it for you,
Person
thanks
or
for
group
checking.
Other than official.
I will tell them if the
activities.
date looks available at the time though.
Yeah, don't bother,
But-
there's
Right.
no chance.
But we don't identify school activities on here.
School activities inherently always take priority, so if
No, no,
it's
no.
a band concert or if it's.
That's stated at the very top, in that first paragraph that you read.
Right,
District functions
but what
and-
I'm talking about is they're not listed in no fee categories.
Right, cause they're listed
Okay,
above
but, right,
and not first paragraph.
right,
And-
so, no, any persons or group other than governmental entities, cause
Yeah.
that
Oh,
that
so
doesn't
say
need
take
to
that
be
out.
there.
Yes, it
that's why
doesn't-
I'm like,
yeah.
why is that even there? 'Cause
Yeah,
we don't
no,
talk
that
about
makes
it.
sense.
Other than governmental entities with whom the district has a memorandum, okay, so do we, city, county, or other public agencies? Okay, so since government entities is called out right here, that we have an MOU,
Do you wanna change that to just governmental entities, whereas the district has not entered into an MOU?
s- so, okay, so we have MOU there.
So then, that one right there,
This needs to go away. And
so then at the top, what you're saying, instead of city, county, or public agencies, you would say governmental aid, so it's consistent.
well, agencies. What public agencies are there
That aren't government.
that aren't government? Is the library government?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a city, like it's a city of Breath or thing, or it's a county, yeah.
It's a county.
County.
So,
Depending
but
on
see, we're not saying government agencies here, we're just saying city, county, or other public agencies.
Right, that's what my question was, do we want it to say the same thing that number one does, and what's stated down below, or is there a difference?
Between government
And
and
city,
agencies and
county.
that.
Yeah.
Is there any city agency, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
We call it a governmental entity.
Well, I'm just trying to think,
Governmental
what
agency,
city,
is that-
county, or other public agencies are there that aren't government entities?
That's, that was my question too. Like, why are we using two different terms? Is there a difference? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
Instead of just utilizing the same
Same
language
term
as
all the way
above.
through.
Right.
Yeah.
So then if we take- With whom this, okay, so then, any person or group other than governmental entities with whom the district has a
They mean the same thing, it's just governmental entities, a broader categorization versus, it's the same thing.
okay, So any person or group other than, governmental entities with whom the district has, I believe,
Yeah, A. It should just be A. There's no, L.
I understand that, but it doesn't sound right.
I know it doesn't.
A MOU. Oh Lord, okay.
And it's not a
I
written,
know,
it's
entered
an
a
online
MOU.
Into an MOU has entered
Entered.
into an
So A, entered into
A.
a
Memorandum.
MOU.
A memorandum,
I
yeah.
don't know, it should be an.
But it's-
An MOU.
But when you say it the full way, it's not a an, it's a A.
I get you, but we're not saying the full way, we're saying MOU.
But
The district has not entered a MOU.
I'm not the grammar specialist.
Must complete a facility use agreement before using any of the district facilities. Forms are available on the district website this should be linked. There are no exceptions to this written application
And
process.
it's an online, it's not handwritten, so I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
that
an online
matters. Where it says written, should
It's
that
still
be?
written.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
They just can't call you and tell you to
it's
sign
not a verbal one, you have to have it in writing, therefore they typed that.
Well, there's no exceptions to the application process.
That works.
I don't think it
Yeah.
has to say written.
Okay.
All fees, including a key deposit, if applicable, must be submitted before the application will be approved. Okay. Payments, but. So, key deposits and key cards and indoor keys, do we give those to Park and Rec?
Yeah, so I check out key cards to Park and Rec.
Mhm.
So they leave me a deposit that we keep back in the safe.
Okay.
And then they do check out some indoor door keys. And then we hold on to their deposit until they return it either at the end of the season or,
The end of this fiscal year.
Yeah.
We tried to get everything back by the end of the fiscal year.
yep,
And
I'm
then you
start
have to
making
reissue
phone
them
calls.
every year?
Yep.
Huh?
And then you reissue them again the next year.
Mhm. Yeah, and then if I don't get them back, Justin deactivates them and then I keep their deposit.
We deposit their deposit. It's no longer deposit, it's a fee.
Okay, so, so, alright, so, yeah, we need to add that here then.
Add in the key card.
Yeah.
Do you wanna call it building access fees?
Oh, there we go.
I just make it easy, building access fees.
That way it's $15 if they just need a key card, it's $75 if they need some indoor keys,
Mhm.
whatever.
Like I just make it as
Mhm.
simple as possible.
Okay. Okay. Back down here. All fees must be submitted before the application will be approved. Payments must be made no less than 10 business days prior to rental. In addition, if additional charges are levied by the school or district, they are due within 10 days. Okay, we're just gonna do this because it's being consistent in this stupid paragraph. Of being invoiced for
Do you want
groups.
the word business days in there also then?
What?
Do you want to say 10 business days there also, since the other one said 10 business days?
Yes.
We'll have to add business down below.
Payments must be made, okay.
One more time.
If additional charges are levied by, do 10 business days of being most for groups renting on an ongoing basis, payment for the first month is due within 10 days for the first month of use and monthly in advance of the use thereafter.
We don't do any of,
Why not?
none of the, well, we don't do like a monthly rental
Okay.
usually.
We don't have the space to do an ongoing monthly rental.
Well, we used to, we rent to churches and stuff like that, so that's why,
Mhm.
Like
all
it's there
app-
if it happens, but guess what, you don't have to worry about it, cause it's not
Right.
happening right now.
all applicants for use of school facilities will hold the district free and without harm from any loss or damage, liability, or expense that may arise during or be caused in any way by such use or occupancy of school facilities.
Okay, that's a sentence I would like to
Okay.
change.
All right, what are we saying?
All applicants for use of school facilities shall indemnify,
That's a
defend,
fun word.
and hold harmless the district. You can take the whole rest of the sentence out, cause I'm taking the whole thing after that point. Right, comma, its board. Comma, employees. Comma, and agents. From any and all loss. It should be from. Damage. Liability. Or expense. Arising from. Or related to. The use or occupancy. Of district facilities. And then can you change that to loss instead of lose?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's-
Sorry, I told you, and it should be, it's without an
Yeah,
apostrophe.
it's as underlined as you.
I do wanna leave that part in there.
It is board.
It is board.
Okay, it is board.
So I'm good with the next sentence.
Okay. Also, in the event that property loss or damage, that property loss, okay, so wait a minute. Up here I commented, no, you just said loss.
All loss, yeah.
Okay. Also, in the event that property loss or damage is incurred during such use of, or occupancy, the amount of damage will be determined by the district and a bill for damages will be presented to the group using or occupying the facilities during the time the loss or damage was sustained.
That gives us the right to bill them back for,
Which we do.
we do. A lot. Unfortunately.
Um,
Thank
It's
you
not
for
a
allowing me to
by
be-
the way moment,
I
it's
know.
sort of
It's a, in the event you do this.
yeah.
So thank you for letting me fix that
Oh, no problem. Any others that need to be fixed?
one. Yes.
Okay,
so-
well, let's keep rolling then. Oh, actually, it's 7 o'clock, so we're not gonna keep rolling.
Okay.
We were on a roll too.
I know,
We
just
were.
like, let's keep powering through.
Get her done.
Mine are literally just some cleanup of it to make it more legally impactful for the district, so
It's fine.
not a big deal.
Yeah, we got 8 pages of this. You're not
Only,
worried.
and I only have 7 more revisions, so we're good.
All right.
One per page.
Pretty much,
Roughly.
kinda roughly works out to that.
Okay, yeah, it is there, okay. Yeah, sweet. Okay, we're gonna stop recording now because,